Hi guys, it's Carolyn with Crafting with Wine, and I wanted to show my process of creating a 2-page 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. And what I'm wanting to create today is a layout that represents a trip that my husband and I took to Cozumel, Mexico about 12 years ago. So what I'm going to start with is shapes. I'm going to include a square, and I find shapes on the left-hand side of my mat. I already have Cricut pulled up, obviously, Cricut Design Space. And I'm going to change the size to 12 inches. Now, I'm going to go down to the left-hand side of my screen and decrease it to 75% versus 100%. The next thing I'm going to do is change this to a pink in color. That's not pink, that's red. So I'm going to do Advance here and do, oh no, that's not, I clicked the wrong one. I'm wanting like a deep pink, so I'm fine with that one for now. These aren't the colors I'm going to use, but it gives me an idea of my colors. Now I'm going to insert another shape, another square. I'm going to make it 11.5 inches squared. I'm going to change the color of this to a blue. Now, while I've got my blue selected, I'm going to hit the Control key on my keyboard and select the pink layer, and then I'm going to choose Align and Center, and then I'm going to come over to the right hand side and hit Group. So I've got them grouped together. Now I am going to move this over on my screen and hit Duplicate and move it over to the other side. And now the next thing I want to do is make some photo mats. And I'm going to do 2 photo mats that are 6 by 4, 4 by 6, however you want to say it. And up here on my size panel on the top of my screen, I'm going to click the little lock to unlock it so I can make it the sizes that I want. And I'm going to make it 6.5 wide by 4.5 high, and then click it. I'm going to click the lock here to lock it, my thing back, and I'm going to change the color of it to a yellow. And now I'm going to insert another square. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to unlock my size. I'm going to make it 6.25 by 4.25. I'm going to lock my scale back into perspective. I'm also going to change the color of this. And at this point, I'm going to make an orange because it's Mexico. That's lots of nice bright colors, and I can use all of those colors. And what I did was just group them back together again, and I'm going to duplicate it again. Now, one thing that I know from my many years with Cricut is that there's a Cricut cartridge called Ole, O-L-E. So I want to look in that cartridge first. So what I'm going to do is click Images. I'm going to click Cartridges up here from Images, Categories, and Cartridges. I've clicked on Cartridges. It is now highlighted, and I'm going to type in Ole, and I'm going to search for that cartridge. There it is, 170 images within this cartridge. And now I'm going to look through what I want here. I'm going to choose Mexico. I'm going to click on it. You can see that it's highlighted. I'm going to use that for my title. One of the things that we did is that we shopped the open air markets, and we had our picture made with a donkey and a macaw, with a little guy in a sombrero, and we saw the beautiful dancing ladies who dance all the South American dances. So that's what I think I want. There's a lizard. I'm certainly choosing this lizard because we bought several of these in the open air market. So that's amazing that it's there. So I chosen that one as well. I'm going to choose the maracas or whatever they're called. Oh, there's a little dancing lady. I'm going to choose her. Now, there's a sombrero, but I'm going to try to decide. Ooh, I like that border. They're calling it a banner. I'm calling it a border. So I'm going to choose that. I may not use all of these images, but I have them in case I want to. Love this little donkey or burro, whatever you want to call him. I'm going to choose him. There's salsa. We ate awesome chips and salsa. Best salsa I ever eaten in my life I got there. So I would like to find a macaw parrot. And I'm not seeing it, so I'm going to scroll back up and see if I can see one. I'm not seeing it at all. So what I'm going to do is click on images. All of my images that I've already selected are still there. I'm going to search macaw. I'm going to type in macaw in my search bar and do a search. And here is one. And it's from Olay, but it didn't show up. So apparently, Cricut's having issues today. So let's go back into it and see if I can find the macaw parrot. Or maybe I just missed it. And it's not showing at all. So I'm going to go back to images. I'm going to type in macaw again and search. I don't understand why it's doing that. And I'm just going to click on it from right there. Now I'm going to click on insert images. It's going to bring all my images over for me. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is play with this border, and I'm immediately going to change the size to 11.5 wide, but it didn't bring it in tall enough for me, so I'm going to unlock the size, and I'm going to change it to 3.5 and see what I think about that. And I like that. And so I'm going to move it down about 3/4 of the way down my page, and I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to duplicate it because I want it on the other side as well. And I'm going to line it up, and I'm liking that very much. Now the next thing I'm going to do is move my photo mat out of the way for a minute. I'm going to move some of my other images out of the way because the next thing I want to work on is my title, and my title's going to be Mexico here. And I'm actually liking the size of Mexico. I don't think I need to play with the sizing of it at all. I just wanted to rotate it and put it at an angle sort of. Now this photo mat, I'm going to hit arrange at the top of my screen and send to the front because I want it in front of my border piece there. I'm going to move Mexico down for a second. Now, the next thing that I'm going to play with here, I'm going to bring over my little girl. I'm going to arrange her to the front so I can see her very well. Now I'm just going to drag my arrows because I'm not worried about making the size to my specifications, but I'm going to do it as to what fits on my layout. I'm going to put her right about here. And I like that. And now I'm going to bring over the maracas and enlarge them, but also send them to the front. I'm going to rotate them a little bit too. And so far, I'm really liking the left side of my layout at this point. So I'm going to leave it alone. And now I'm going to go over here and work on my right hand side. And I'm going to increase my donkey. And now I've got my little macaw parrot, but I want to flip it. I don't want it going that direction. So I'm going to hit the little flip icon at the top of my screen and flip it horizontally, and it'll flip its direction. I'm going to arrange it to the front, and I'm going to make it bigger as well. But I also think I need my little donkey bigger. And do that. Now I'm going to get my parrot and put it into position, which is right there. And now here's my super cute little lizard. And I'm enhanced him. I'm going to rotate him around to be where I want. And now I'm going to go back to images because I want to put a little guy in a sombrero right here is what I think I want. So I'm going to go back to images. I'm going to go back to cartridges. I'm going to search Olay again. And I want a little guy in a sombrero. Here's one with also with his little Mexican blanket on. So I'm going to choose him for a second. Let's see if there's any others. Here's this one. I'm going to choose him as well. So let's see. There's the macaw parrot showing up now. I must have just missed it earlier. I was going to. There it is twice, actually. So that's too funny. So I'm going to insert both of these images. And you see what I mean by beautiful, bright colors, and that's what I was looking for. So first thing I'm going to do is enlarge this little guy. So I've got him right there. And if I use this one and keep true to those colors, then I will pop him up on foam tape. I like him a lot, but I'm going to move him out of the way for the second. And I'm going to bring in my other little guy. Okay, he's a little too tall. I don't want his hat to come that far over my photo mat. Move him down to the top of the screen there. Okay, now I'm trying to decide which one I like better. Oh, see, I don't know. I'm a little bit torn, so I'm going to choose one and go with it. And I like this one here very much because we also brought back Mexican blankets for our mothers. My husband and I did. So I don't know if I want to use, I don't think I'm going to use him. I'm going to go with it. And I'm going to stay true and delete it because he's not my favorite choice. And I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to increase him in size just a little bit because I think he's cuter. He goes much better with my layout. So I'm really liking this so far. Now, the very next thing I do is hit save because I don't want to put all this time in and lose it. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to name it Mexico Trip and then hit save. So I've got it in there. and my project's being saved. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to go over here on the right hand side. You see layers and color sync. I'm on layers, but I'm going to do color sync. And this is your favorite tool as when you're cutting out all these paper pieces, let me tell you, because you want to minimize as much as you can with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my pink background layers, these two squares. Those are my 12 by 12 layers. I'm going to make them the same color. So I know that that's what I'm going to do to start with. So that's what I really want to do. And then I'm going to see what else I need to do here. I've got white, where the white is the bird's eye. Then I got the black background layers of my little people in Mexico. So I love that. And then I have these yellow colored layers, and I got to determine these are part of my macaw parrot, and I would like it to be a brighter yellow, so I'm going to grab the bar of the color and move it down to the other bar, and you can see it automatically changed on my layout there. So I'm happy with that. And then all of these pink layers I'm happy with, and the purple. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mats that I'll cut. And I'm actually very happy with those 10 mats. That works well for me. So and actually those mats are very easy for me to do. So I'm happy with all my color choices, and I'm going to slip back to layers. I'm going to save again because I saved a couple colors there, and that's how I design. I have photos in mind that I want to use, and then I typically know what cartridge that I could use to get the effect, and I knew about the Olay cartridge, and that's where I searched first for the images that I wanted to use. So that's how I design my layouts, or how my thought process works for my layouts. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I know I had several requests to do a video of this nature, so I hope that works. And again, I do not cut any of my background layers. I don't cut the 12 by 12 or the 11.5 or my photo mats on my Cricut. I do those strictly with my paper trimmer, and then everything else is cut. I cut with my Cricut. So that's how it goes. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I certainly appreciate it. Cheers.